isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird, and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone. Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. By the way, I think our video feed is about to get COVID because Ralph is trying to get on. I can see he's trying to get on. Oh, I can't see you, though.
I'm on.
What are you on, Ralph?
Many things.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to be because I heard your COVID got the flu and everything, but my internet is down today, so I'm hotspotting the video from my phone, and I've got the cell card running the Comrex. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen on my side, but not seeing Ralph is not the worst thing that's happened to me today. I'll be honest.
You look really blurry, kind of like the offense of the Colts. So you're okay.
It's a little non-existent.
And so it begins.
Oh, I got more for you.
I can't even listen. I got nothing to defend. I can't even say a thing about it. Your Seahawks are 3-0, and my Colts are garbage, and that's the way it is.
Number 1 seed. I can't help it.
Well, I mean, don't get used to it. But I mean, no, you can be used to the number 1 seed, but don't get used to success. That's all I'm going to say. Because this week you and I play each other in fantasy football, and well, I think I'm about to bring you down because I have beaten Randy, who has beaten you. I have beaten Keon. I've beaten everybody.
Every time I play Randy, he beats me.
I don't think
it's
that's
a weird
true.
thing.
No, it is. Like last year, you beat me by like 0.6 of a point. I mean, you just always find a way.
See,
It's
that's
ridiculous.
not killing you. That's just winning. I mean, I can't help it. I ain't nothing but a winner. What
If you
can I
ain't
say?
first, you're last, Randy. So
Yeah,
Ralph is
second
last.
Second is the last. He is the first loser.
Mhm.
You know what can I say?
So whatever the case, here's the thing. You guys know the drill. We're going to do our Harman Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And then at 4:00, have all your fantasy football questions ready for the king of fantasy football, Scott Engel. He will be with us at that point. But right now, let's just say hello to some people on the text line. King of Kitten says, suck it, Ralph. I'd like to see the ladies of micro midget wrestling take on Ralph.
Well, I would like to see that too. I think that'd be funny.
We've been told there are no ladies involved.
You know, I like midgets. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we can't call them that, I guess.
Small
We've
people.
Little
people.
Micromania.
Just call them micromaniacs. I don't know. Bullseye says, can Ralph please catch COVID again? The show is so peaceful when he's not around.
Jeez.
Wow. Thanks.
Fish Tank says,
Sure.
dudes, just dawned on me that the Braves play a double header on Monday that will likely decide whether the Braves and Diamondbacks go to the playoffs, and the Dolphins are on Monday Night Football. I'm going to be so hammered and gambled and so much money by 4 p.m. I'm going to have to take the rest of the week off to recover.
Mm.
No, I can see
It's,
that.
it's okay with me. Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to talk about the Diamondbacks. They won, but
8-2, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, all right, whatever. Just no, I mean, because we got
yeah, sure, whatever. I
we
mean,
got 3 games ahead of us, and
Yeah.
things aren't looking great, man.
what do you mean?
They're not looking good.
I don't know why you guys keep worrying about this. It's
Do we have to win out?
no.
You should. You need to.
We should, but
We need
no,
to.
we don't have to because Atlanta's still playing the Mets.
You kind of need to win out.
It ain't over till it's over.
I feel like we need to win out,
No.
but
No.
and I don't know that we will.
easier for you if you did.
It would
but
be
it's not-
easier if
but you
we
don't.
But
have
even
to.
if we don't win out, let's say Atlanta wins out and we win out, who has the tiebreaker? Atlanta.
Mhm. That doesn't make me
So-
feel better.
That didn't
How was that supposed
Well,
to make me feel
Well,
better?
well,
I'm
the,
just-
the point is,
I'm
is that it's in the hands of the Mets. Okay, the Mets decide your fate. If the Mets beat the Braves, it doesn't matter what you
weird
do.
sentence.
You're either
Right.
in or you're out because the Mets control your destiny.
Correct.
Great.
Hmm.
Well, let's not talk about baseball today. Let's make it all football today. The rest of you keep it to yourselves. Oaktown
right.
Destroyer says, Jeffrey, my Raiders suck too. I know, man. I know. Baker's Cocky Hen says, call them what? Oh, no, even midgets backwards is still midgets. Teddims. No, I don't think that's going to work. It's the same thing. Listen, before we do anything, let's go ahead and take care of the teacher lady sports quote of the day and the Big George's sports history, because we won't have time to do this later. And as soon as we're done with this, we're going to be very busy doing our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick 'em picks, which, by the way, leader in the clubhouse right now is Fish Tank. He is the man when it comes to picks. And yes, he picked all his games before the season started. So I don't know what special magic he had or what alcohol fueled it, but this just shows you how weird this season is the fact that a guy picks at the beginning of the season
And was drunk when he did it.
Yeah.
Admittedly, by his own
and is
admission.
winning. So this is even more impressive than when Hefty Lefty picked the entire season and did pretty damn good. This is even better. Well, whatever the case, let's go ahead and start with the teacher lady sports quote of the day. I got to work with her on maybe shorten these up a little bit, but here it is.
All right.
And if you know who it is, shout out the name. You won't know the name.
Okay.
Spirit of sports gives each of us who participate an opportunity to be creative. Sports knows no sex, age, race, or religion. Sports gives us all the ability to test ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally in a way no other aspect of life can. For many of us who struggle with fitting in, our identity, sports gives us our first face of confidence. That first bit of confidence can be a gateway to many other great things. Anybody want to guess?
It's a good quote, but I don't know who that is.
It's a long ass quote, yeah.
Yeah.
Dan O'Brien, the American decathlete from 1996, where he won the Olympic gold. He actually lives in Scottsdale, or he lives in Phoenix, but he owns a gym in Scottsdale called Gold Medal Acceleration. And he also volunteers as a track coach at ASU and does other related things. So there you go. Teacher lady sports quote of the day.
Is that a
feel
new
like-
feature?
Yeah, we probably should make that about a third shorter. Just because I lose. I got ADD, so I'm already.
Jeez.
But let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2004, Peyton Manning of the Indianapolis Colts passed for 393 yards and 5 first-half touchdowns in a 45-31 win over the Green Bay Packers. Manning had the most touchdown throws in one half since Tommy Kramer in 1986 and the most yards in a quarter, 247, since Boomer Esiason in 1996. Back to me, Jeffrey. I just wanted to remind myself of a time where the Colts were actually worth a damn, and then we had Peyton Manning when he was good. So, and now it's over. Anyway, Fish Tank says, listen, it's like shooting pool, throwing darts, throwing bags. You know, there's a sweet spot where if you're just a little bit buzzed, not drunk, not sober, you're right in the pocket. Yeah. And there's also blind drunk luck, is which I think it is. No chosen one.
I
That
don't
was
think it's
not Billie Jean King. Delicious says Dyers clinch division if they win tonight. Then the Padres have nothing to play for.
That's a big if.
Wow. I got your
Big if.
Got your big if.
You don't have a big anything. 888-368-1580.
That's definitely not true.
I mean, like a big fever. I don't know.
They got a big nose, big foot.
That's not even true.
You know what they say about guys with big noses?
Yeah, they got big noses.
They smell horrible.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, I mean, it helps.
Okay.
All right, Shuley. Well, let's do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks, and I'll be honest, there's not a lot of great matchups this week. There's a couple of them, but not many. But let's go ahead and start with the matchups that are on 1580 The Fanatic, starting with tonight, Thursday Night Football in New York City. Wait, no, that's not true. In New Jersey somewhere, the New York Football Giants
What was it?
are hosting the Dallas.
Meadowlands.
I'll be honest, I just don't care. They're hosting the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so here we are. The New York Giants suddenly got a win, which surprised everybody. And then, of course, the Dallas Cowboys underperforming, which surprises nobody. But they got to play tonight. So which one are you going to go with? Are you going to say, hey, look, Danny Dimes and this new kid, neighbors, they got a connection. Oh, they can pick apart that Dallas defense. Or is reality going to set in and the Dallas Cowboys start performing, up to their talents? What do you say, Randy?
Well, the last 19 meetings, Dallas is 18-1.
I don't care about the last. Come on.
Don't trust Danny Dimes. I wouldn't trust him with anything. So I'm taking Dallas in this matchup tonight.
Yeah, history is history. I can't even think about the history. I'm taking Dallas on this one. The reality is there's just a lot better talent. Horrible coach, but a lot better talent for the Dallas Cowboys than the Giants. Ralph?
Yeah, but you have to look at history. They outscored them 89-17 last year. 89 to
history
17.
is irrelevant.
Yeah,
History is irrelevant. The Giants are a worse team, and the Cowboys, same bunch of talent, but it's meaningless. They don't know how to use it.
This is a blowout. This is the Cowboys in a blowout. Easy game.
I don't know about that one.
Keon, this is your division.
I'm taking the Cowboys. I do feel like the Cowboys can win this game. I think that they should. They are still more talented, but I'm definitely not taking this in a blowout. This is a Cowboys team that lost a lot of parts of that defense, quite frankly, to the Washington Commanders. They followed Dan Quinn on over, and they also lost some of their offensive line somehow to the Washington Commanders as well. They lost a lot of stuff, and they didn't really replenish it. The Cowboys are the worst run defense in the league. It's not close. They are so far behind everybody else that I think Devin Singletary is going to have himself a nice little day today. I just think that this is going to be kind of one of those back and forth games, and Dallas is going to win it while looking really ugly. We're not going to feel like the Cowboys are better when we're done watching this game, but I think the Giants are still limited enough that limited enough, and the matchup doesn't really work well for New York either. New York leads the league specifically Malik Neighbors leads the league in targets. I mean, no one's had the ball thrown at them more, but the Giants like to do it more in man coverage. In zone coverage, they target him a little bit less, and Neighbors is the only really good part of that team, in my opinion, outside of Singletary.
All right, so it's unanimous. Dallas takes down the New York Football Giants tonight on Thursday Night Football. Also on 1580 The Fanatic at 9:30 on Sunday morning after the Weekend Warriors football show. Jacksonville is in Houston. I'm not going to lie to you. This game is a turd. We shouldn't even air it. We should just turn off the radio station, to be honest. This is a turd. Giant turd. And who better to speak to a giant turd than a giant turd himself? Ralph?
Oh, my God.
Wow. What an introduction.
Oh, my God.
Welcome back to the show,
That's
Ralph.
so mean.
Yeah. Can't wait till you're on my show, and I want to talk about you a little bit. Anyway,
Bring it.
I talk about you every week.
You never
trust me.
ask me on your show.
And there's a reason for that.
I'll tear up everybody. But go ahead,
Anyway.
tell us about this turd.
I'm still perplexed about what happened to Houston last week. Doesn't make sense to me. Jacksonville just flat out is playing terrible, terrible, terrible. I think Houston gets back on course this week, and I think they take it to Jacksonville. I am taking the Texans. I just don't see – Jacksonville just looks bad to me. They look really bad. The kind of bad that is only next to the Colts. So I'm going to go ahead and take Houston.
Wow.
My God, my division is bad.
It is.
There's nothing good about my division. But if you have to choose between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Hairboy versus a team that's got some youth, you got I'm just going to go with Houston just because when your quarterback says, "Man, we suck." Well, okay, well then that's the kind of thinking that's going to feed into more sucking. And so little Tracy Lawrence, she sucks, and so now it's time just to say, okay, Houston's going to get back on the win column with this week. What do you say, Keon?
Yeah, I think Houston's going to get back in the win column, but that's, more to do with the fact that just the Jaguars overall just struggle with everything. But the Houston defense has a chance to really get back on track against the Jacksonville offensive line that hasn't really stopped anybody this year. And do I think that they'd love to get Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter with their ears pinned back, ready to go and knock off Trevor Lawrence's head? I do. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen over the course of the game. And then the defense for the Jags is, quite frankly, disappointing. I just don't trust them.
All right, Randy, you making it unanimous? Houston Texans over the Jacksonville Jaguars?
This morning I was listening to the Prague Film Orchestra, and they were playing the entire soundtrack of Lord of the Rings. And
what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it was beautiful. I mean, everybody had their part. Everybody was in the right tempo. Everybody had the right feel. Jacksonville, on the other hand, sounds like Mrs. Kingston's second grade orchestra. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Houston, big in this game.
All right.
Just what you don't like the analysis of the Jacksonville offense sounding like a bunch of fourth graders trying to play recorder?
Second graders.
Second graders.
I think they're probably worse, to be honest. But, okay, it's unanimous on Houston. Let's see if we can keep it going. For Sunday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Buffalo Bills. Now, here's a matchup where you've got. By the way, did we talk to everybody about that? Yeah, we did. We got the Ravens, who finally got a win over the Cowboys, but this is a team that should have a better record than they do. And Buffalo should be doing better than they have done. But wait a second, are they 3-0?
They're 3-0.
Yeah, I was like, how can they do better?
Can't do any
Why
better
is
than
it
that.
when I watch them, I feel like they're struggling?
They're not
You know what I
struggling
mean?
at all.
They are
feel
not. They just obliterated the Jaguars on Monday
they
night.
did.
It wasn't even it didn't look
40.
like they had any resistance whatsoever.
47-10.
I don't know why I just got this weird. Maybe it's from just hangover from last year. But
Maybe.
Oh crap! Now I'm not sure about my pick. I was going to pick the Ravens to beat Buffalo. They are at home, and eventually Lamar Jackson's got to pull out, whatever this funk is, and get his team out. He's frustrated.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad, but he's got to pull this team out, and he's been carrying this team on his back, and he's been mad about it. He's angry about the way things have been going for the Ravens. So, I feel like he's really going to want this, and he's really going to want this at home. Right now, I'm sticking with my Baltimore Ravens pick, but this is going to probably be the best game of the week. This is going to be a battle. What do you say, Randy? Ravens or Buffalo?
I think Buffalo wins, and that's because, again, I don't think Baltimore has got their act together. I mean, they looked a little better in the last game they played, but that was against Dallas. I mean, now you're playing against Buffalo at home in Baltimore. I think it'll be a hard-hitting game. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch, but I've got to take Buffalo. They look really good right now, and their defense is playing well. And, when a dead man in Buffalo's secondary gets an interception, that team is playing well. Give me Buffalo.
He is currently alive.
Okay.
I was kind of down on the Bills to start the year, but, man, they look good. What I really like, what's really getting me is how Allen is starting to feel good about his receivers and spreading it around, right? Shakir, Cook, Kincaid, Coleman. He's starting to really work with all of them and really move the ball over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills are going to be this is a Bills win in this game. I like how they're playing. I like how Allen's playing. The defense is looking decent. I think it's a lot more points by the Bills this week. I think they win.
I think I might have to change my pick. I for some reason, my brain, I had it set in my brain that the Bills were struggling. And maybe like Ralph said, maybe that's just the way the team looked in the offseason and some of the ways they struggled last year. I might have to change that pick. 888-368-1580. Just another face in the crowd says, we all know what's biggest on Ralph, his ego. Fish Tank says, I hate agreeing with Ralph, but yeah, the Cowboys are going to absolutely torch the Giants.
I'm not sure about that one.
Wonder why Ralph is wearing a Mike Tomczak Bears jersey.
This
today.
is a Caleb Williams jersey.
Oh, I saw the AT. I thought that was Mike Tomczak.
This is Caleb
Oh,
Williams.
not another team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He gets
Another
yeah.
team? Why are you wearing a Caleb
Pretty
Williams
sure
jersey?
that's it.
Because I'm an SC guy and I like Caleb Williams.
Oh my God! Now just add that to the pile of teams that Ralph is a fan
I'm
of.
not a Bears fan. I'm a Caleb Williams fan.
Did we get everybody on this Buffalo-Baltimore
we
thing?
did not, but I'm taking Buffalo.
All right. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. I got to fix that.
It's just that the Ravens secondary is horrific, and until it starts getting healthy, I'm not picking them to win a whole lot.
Part of me wants to just leave it on Baltimore and see what happens. My picks are shot this year anyway.
Yeah, the way you're picking, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so now we have a couple of teams that I hate that the Seattle Seahawks are 3-0.
Why?
That bothers me because it makes you happy.
Because you thought they'd win 3 games all year? Oh, that's right. Okay.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm happy with what I'm saying.
And then watch what happens when they've already won their 3 games this year and they lose out. That would be hilarious. Yeah, don't tempt fate, especially not the way this year is. But the Detroit Lions are hosting the Seattle Seahawks, and oh boy, I tell you what, it's tough not to take the Seattle Seahawks. So, what are your thoughts on this game, Keon?
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks. I just the Mike McDonald, it's a hand and glove fit with him and that defense. The scheme he wants to run, he's not trying to get those players to fit what he wants to do. He's like, no, I like the guys that are here. We're going to go ahead and run a defense that's aggressive and physical, but they cover very well. It's hard to throw the football on a team like that. And that's the bread and butter of the Detroit Lions, is pushing the ball down the field, using all of those weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown leading the pack. I just don't think that the Seahawks are going to allow that. And I just think that the Lions look shaky defensively. And Seattle has been consistent, and they've been able to, every single game, they're efficient on third down. They're efficient in the red zone. It's hard not to like just about everything going on in Seattle. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Randy?
Man,
I really hate this pick.
I'm going to cry.
You would cry.
I hate this pick. I absolutely hate this pick. So I'm going to have to take
Don't make him explain it.
I think he stroked.
That's fine, Randy. That's fine. So
that's all I can do to get it out of my mouth without barfing.
Keon takes the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons. So does Randy. I'm taking the Detroit Lions because it's at home. And Ralph is not allowed to be that happy. That's it. That's it. That's the only. Ralph?
Well, first of all, Keon brought a tear to my eye. I'm just going to say it. So this will be their first real test, in my opinion. I mean, right? So Detroit's a tough team. You saw what they did to the Cardinals. We'll talk about that later. But the way that Geno Smith right now is playing, wow.
He looks good.
He looks really good. I think he's number 3 in the league in yards. He's only like 70 or 80 behind the leader.
And you say this is their first real test, but they've played Denver and New England, and those are real defenses. So
I know.
Great playing those two.
But I feel like this road game in Detroit, the team that was in the NFC Championship game last year, so I'm counting this as a test. If Kenneth Walker returns to this game, and it sounds like he might, and we get Nwosu back, which we're missing one of our best defensive rushers, which is crazy considering one of the top teams in the league and putting pressure on the quarterbacks right now. This could be interesting. I love Mike McDonald. I love what he's done to Seattle so fast. What a great coach. And I hope it keeps going. They have a great shot at being 4-0. Really good shot at being 4-0. And I'll tell you right now, if they win this game this week, you guys are all in trouble in the NFC. I'm going to say it right now.
So the NFC
because I think they're going to wind up being 6 or 7-1 before we're halfway done through the season. So I'm taking Seattle. I think they win this game outright, and I think this is a statement game for Seattle and where they are right now.
Yeah, I'm changing the Buffalo pick, but I'm not changing the Detroit pick. I'm going to go ahead and ride Detroit on this just because I just want to be able to laugh, when it's over. And if I'm wrong, then everybody else already was like, yeah, we knew this.
I mean, you're so far behind me in picks right now. I don't care what you did.
So far behind you?
Yeah.
No.
You know what the hard part is? Here's the hard part. Neil's ahead of all of us by 1.
Oh, I wasn't even tracking Neil.
He's ahead of all of us by 1.
Everybody's like, I'm so unconcerned with Neil.
I forgot he existed. Should I add him to the list? I guess maybe.
Not really, no. Because he's just picking colors and stuff. I mean, he's just
yeah.
He's picking colors.
Which, that tells you about the season that we're having.
Exactly.
Yeah, another
Neil
good
is
point.
like, I like red better than blue. So
exactly.
We got a drunk guy winning outright, and Neil is just. I like his hair. Okay, pick. Yeah, cool. All right, that's fine. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll continue our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks are home in Phoenix on Friday as they begin a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres. Arizona clinging to a wild card berth in the National League, leading the Atlanta Braves by 1 game. They're coming off an 8-2 victory on Wednesday against San Francisco that snapped their 3-game losing skid. NFL Week 4, the Arizona Cardinals hosting the Washington Commanders on Sunday. Arizona, a 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 185 on the money line. Washington plus 155 with the over-under total at 50.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games. Plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Maybe that's it, T-licious. He says Bills struggled versus the Cardinals in the first half. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, you're right. Bills being 3-0. I just thought they were. I just don't pay that close attention to them. I guess.
But if you did watch that game, they were bad that first half, but they haven't looked bad since. They've been amazing.
Yeah, I guess, and also, by the way, somebody else who's suffering, who's suffering right now, the curse. It's not the curse of the Bills; it's the curse of Josh Allen, the Berg. The Berg didn't give a damn that old Ralph here was like, I want him, I want that player, and the Berg's like, so what? And he took him, and now Berg is 0-3.
He deserves it. His quarterback's the only one scoring for him.
I feel bad for the Berg.
I do not. You deserve it, Berg.
Well, I was wondering where my texts were that Berg was looking forward to his bye week and why those haven't been rolling in.
Now we can talk about a trade.
Berg's keeping quiet. Not a whole lot to trash talk about.
He has been humbled, and
that's what you get, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
Plays fire, you get burned, buddy.
So, well, that's just that's why I try not to talk too much crap. Like even with Ralph playing him this week, and I'm looking at my team and his team, and they're kind of evenly matched, in some ways. But I wouldn't be surprised if I lose. I wouldn't be surprised.
I expect you to.
Well, you expect a lot of things. But yeah,
I talked a little crap to Jeffrey last week, and I had the worst week of my life. Fantasy-wise, so
go ahead, Ralph.
It happens. It happens.
I have no problem talking crap.
Yeah, well, we know that. And
I intend to kick your butt this week. I mean,
that's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let me get cleaned up on the text line real fast here. Big George says Berg could also be quiet because he's fighting brain cancer. Yeah, but he's still posting on the Twitter.
No. Berg fighting brain cancer has never stopped Berg from talking crap before.
It's not even stopped him for fundraising for other people's treatment.
Yeah.
So he's a badass. He just probably shouldn't talk so much smack. Really coming back on him now. The Jet says, I can't believe I'm saying this with Ralph in the studio, but the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons are going to win 21-17.
It's going to be a close game. Seattle won there. They played them like three years in a row now, and they've beaten them all 3 times. So,
good God, I'm getting everything wrong today. Moist one says, no, Thundar the Santa Barbarian is the one who has Josh Allen. Well, that was the Berg.
Yeah. I think the Berg threatened to then maybe.
Oh, you're right.
Well, then they're both bad.
Josh Allen is doing better than Ralph.
And they're both bad.
Berg, you're still bad.
Forget I said anything.
Thundar's a jerk then.
Let's see. Just another face in the crowd says, who's Neil? But he spelled it Kneel.
It's about what he does too. So
it's Ralph's co-host on the Weekend Warriors football show Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. before all the football starts. That's who. Anything you want to say about Neil to explain Neil?
I don't think I need to add to what we've already said. I mean, if anyone watched our draft show, they know what Neil is. Yeah. Just ask Keon.
That's the funniest thing that I've
never seen Keon so speechless in my life.
I've just never seen another guy freeze up because he was intimidated by another adult. Like, you're both adults. Well, there's nothing intimidating going on.
I still have that audio that I play every once in a while for him. When you asked him that question and he had nothing to say.
Silence.
It's one of my favorite clips.
I don't get it. Bullseye says, I tend to agree with Randy and Sir Ralph. Seahawks win against the Lions. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL, but I still want them to catch COVID again.
That's amazing to say that after their defense has been so bad.
Fish Tank says, Monday Night Football, Dolphins versus Titans. Perfect definition of, hey, you want to see a dead body?
That's very true.
Yeah, well, okay. You're not wrong, but we've already talked. Are you talking about Tennessee and Miami? Yeah, because Seattle and Detroit on Monday Night Football, that'll be a good game. Tennessee versus Miami will be unwatched and unwatchable.
Why are we having 2 games again?
We talked about this the other day. It's just dumb stuff from the NFL. Stupid. We can't figure it out. It's not helping anything. It's diluting ratings, and then I don't want.
Makes no sense.
So let's talk about games that we can talk about. Okay, let's talk about my game. I'm trying to figure out which one of you want to go first. So here's the thing. Randy will give me false hope. Ralph is just going to tear my crap up. Keon, he's going to be reasonable, which will by in turn also tear my crap up. So which one do I want to go with first? I'll go with the nice things first. Go ahead, Randy. Pittsburgh visiting
Well,
Indianapolis.
It is a home game for the Blue Horseshoes. It is an opportunity for them to get right. But this is Pittsburgh with a staunch defense, and this Fields cat wasn't as bad as everybody in Chicago thought he was, huh? So I think it's close. And I think if Richardson comes out and it keeps his poise and doesn't go running around like a stray cat, in a room full of rocking chairs, I think he's going to be fine. I think he can lead this team. And if Jonathan Taylor can put his running shoes on and really start to attack and do what he was known for,
he did last week.
I think this could be a good game. And I have to pick the Blue Horseshoes, but it's going to be a close game. And I might change my pick. I don't know. This is one that's got me going,
Well, I'll take the high from Randy and I'll take the low from Ralph. Go ahead.
I'm not going to give you a low. I mean, I'm really disappointed in Anthony Richardson. The inconsistency is.
He's played 6 games.
I know, but man,
he was inconsistent in college. Like if you're not
right,
gonna,
I know that. So that's what I'm saying is I don't know.
You can't draft a project and then get mad at him for being a project.
Man, this is a project. This is the reason that quarterbacks shouldn't start right away. He should be on the bench for a year, and he's starting to show that every week. And maybe he needs to go sit down just like Bryce Young did. I don't know. But the Steelers' defense is playing so well, and T.J. Watt is going to just have a field day, I think. I mean, I'd be afraid of him if I was the Colts. That defense is really good. I think they're going to dominate defensively. The Pittsburgh offense is okay. I think Fields maybe finally found a good fit for him offensively, where he does enough to be good enough to win. And I think they win this game, but I think it's like Randy said. I think it's a close game, but I think Pittsburgh wins because of their defense, and that Fields will do just enough.
All right, Keon.
I'm taking your Colts.
What?
Because I like this matchup a lot. It's actually one of the ones I'm the most looking forward to watching this weekend because you got the best defensive line versus the best offensive line. Indy's got the best O-line, and Pittsburgh's got the best D-line. I like the trench battles. Those are fun to me. So I'm looking at that, and I really like where the Colts are as an offense and an offensive line. I like that they started running the football more. Take some pressure off of Anthony Richardson. Take some responsibility off of his plate and give it to your veteran running back who is, when he's rolling, one of the best guys in the league at doing it. And then you can start to see some things off of play action and really make things simple for Anthony Richardson. And I still like the Colts defense. The way that I think the Steelers would win this game is if we start to see more passing from Justin Fields. They've really put the training wheels on him. They've said, hey, you don't have to go out there and do too much. He's going to have to do a little bit more than he's been doing to beat the Colts. And I don't know that he's quite ready to do that yet. So I'm taking him.
Wow. I don't even know what to make of that. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't know, man.
I just can't. I listen.
It all hinges on Richardson too, because if Richardson goes out there and just immediately throws 4 interceptions, well, then it's the Steelers all day. But I think that just looking at the way that the games have gone, they're taking a little bit more off of his plate each week because they realize like he's just not ready to be franchise quarterback just yet.
And with that offensive line, like I said, Jonathan Taylor needs to bring his running shoes, man.
It's the best offensive
one of those big offensive guys, and just that offensive line wants to run the football, man.
But why is he playing?
Because
I mean, seriously,
not. Because it's the education of Anthony Richardson. They can't put him behind a veteran in this day and age in the NFL. They got to play him immediately. But here's the thing: it's just for me, it's just one big education. Not expecting much. But here's the thing: I haven't really felt like I've seen
nothing.
The progress. I don't feel like I've seen the decision making improve. I don't feel like
takes time.
But I know it's going to take time, but as we go week to week, I'm a little disheartened. It should be going a different direction than it is. I'm not expecting to win.
This is
I'm
where
just
the
expecting
Patriots
to feel better about his progress.
The Patriots are doing it right. They've got Drake May, who I think has talent, but they're letting him learn from the bench.
They said Drake May won the job. And they were like, there's nothing you can learn behind this offensive line.
But, I mean, exactly. So they're being smart about it. I just think Richardson is not mentally ready for this. He's showing that every week with his bad decision making. He's got all the athletic talent in the world. He's probably the most athletic player at quarterback. but it's just not connecting right now.
Cool, but you've
It's
already
just
ripped
not.
the Band-Aid off. He is the starter.
Man,
so
put that Band-Aid back on and stitch it up.
So
Yeah,
once-
I have put Band-Aids back on myself.
and maybe you can, but I
just hate to see him get ruined because of this, and that's what's going to happen.
I don't and with Anthony Richardson, I think he's in the least ruinable position just based on what's around him. We talk about so many of these guys getting ruined, but they're all behind bad O lines, no receivers.
true.
Like that's not necessarily the case for Anthony Richardson. He's got a running back that supports him. He's got a defense that's pretty solid, and they've got an offensive line that's really, really good. He's just got to be more consistent.
Big George wants to know if the Weekend Warriors are still moving to Sunday mornings come September.
Yes, we need a new promo, Big George. We're going to do that this weekend. We
Moist
really
one.
need a new promo.
Moist One says Tennessee and Miami will be a lot like watching dead fish trying to swim. Yeah, somebody got a Nobel Peace Prize for that.
Yep.
CK says, who's the dumbass that gave Ralph his own show? Anyway, Lions by 7. Suck it, Ralph.
Oh my God.
Hefty Lefty says, sounds like Richardson is Ralph's fantasy quarterback.
No, he's absolutely not.
If he was, you'd want him playing from behind all the time. The problem is he can't pass for crap.
Yep.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we will continue our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. NFC East action coming up on Thursday Night Football when the Giants host the Cowboys. Daniel Jones in New York will hope to build on the momentum of last Sunday's first win of the season. For Dallas, Dak Prescott and crew will try to break an early 2-game losing skid. Ian Eagle and Phil Simms will call the action on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Vanguard is 100% client owned, serving over 50 million investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc., all rights reserved, Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
After 3 years of legalized sports betting, something completely new is now live in Arizona. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here, and I'd like to introduce you to SportTrade. SportTrade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's going to change in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, SportTrade is your new home. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. Even if you're an experienced bettor and you prefer American odds, you'll love seeing odds closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110 offered just about everywhere else, coupled with near instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Hear that?
the relaxing sound of ambient music in a yoga class. And if you were here, you'd listen to 15 people taking a deep breath in sync. But you're not here. Your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle, protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get a quote today and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, and find inner peace with a different pose called Palms on Handlebars. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, okay, listen up. Football season, we are well underway, and you got to get up on it and get yourself a 125% sign-up bonus for your first 3 deposits. Where can you do that? BetUS. BetUS has things other sports books do not offer. We're talking about crypto bonuses. We're talking about sign-up bonuses and cash bonuses and casino insurance, all sorts of stuff. They have so much stuff. I mean, just go look at all the stuff. Go get started today. BetUS.com, or you can call them at 1-800-MY-BETUS. That's BetUS, where the games begin. And let's begin to talk about the big matchup this week. Now, I can crap all over Ralph's Seahawks, and he can snot rocket all over my Colts. We've done that. We've been there. Okay, but it's time for a little, daily blender on blender crime here, and that is the Arizona Cardinals hosting the Washington Commandos, and that is happening on Sunday afternoon. Now the Cardinals are 1-2, Commandos are 2-1. Commandos, Jaden Daniels starting to look real good. The Cardinals have moments, where you see a connection between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then they have games like last week. So, not sure what's going on here with the Cardinals, to be honest, but it looks like the Commandos are up and coming. So let's try to make some heads or tails of this. Ralph, go ahead. What do you got on this one? The Cardinals hosting the Commandos.
What bothers me about the Cardinals, and I'm watching a lot of their games, is Kyler Murray just making really bad decisions. When he has a guy open on a route.
You sure that's not your piece of paper on Anthony Richardson?
No. His guy's open on routes, and instead of going where he should go, he goes somewhere else and throws a pick or just makes a bad throw. And that's Kyler Murray's book, right? I think he's been doing that for 6 years. And that's my problem. I don't see it getting better. They're not utilizing who I think is probably a top 5 tight end in the league. He's not even involved at all. I don't understand why, but they're not utilizing him. The defense is what I expected. They're not awful, but they're not good. The Commanders, when I look at Jaden Daniels, I've been saying this since they drafted him. I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's getting better way too fast. I didn't think it'd be this quick. The throws he made last week were just sick, absolutely sick. That kid's just so talented. He may be the best quarterback in the draft, and this is a Caleb Williams fan saying that. But right now, he definitely is. I really like what the Commanders are doing. I know Keon's hard on their defense and other things, but man, they are putting it together offensively, and the defense is playing a little bit better. This is going to be tough, though. Traveling across the country after Monday night and having to play this game makes it a little more even, which makes me want to take the Cardinals because you think they need a bounce-back game. Very winnable game for them, but I'm going to take the Commanders only because of Jaden Daniels. I just think he's better. He's a better quarterback in this game, even right now. And I think he's going to make things happen to win this game. But I think it's a close game.
I agree, and I want to take the Arizona Cardinals. But here's the thing. A very important defensive aspect of the Cardinals is now out. And I feel like this is going to end up being a shootout because of the defense for the Commandos ain't so great, according to Keon. And we know the defense of the Cardinals is dinged up. This becomes a shootout. And if you go for an offensive shootout, boy, I tell you what, Jaden Daniels looking good lately, but Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Connor running. I think I'm feeling the Cardinals on this one. If it's a shootout between two offensive teams, I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this. All right, Keon.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if you take the Cardinals, but go ahead. Who are you picking?
Yeah, this is a fun matchup, and I agree with you. It is absolutely going to be a shootout. You have two not good defenses. The Cardinals are dinged up, but they also weren't a good defense before they were dinged up. The Commanders are still dead last as a secondary. Nobody allows more air yards in football than the Washington Commanders, and it is quite frankly not close. So when you look at it, it's going to be a fireworks show. You've got the number one quarterback outside of the pocket throwing downfield. That's Kyler Murray. Number two, that's Jaden Daniels. Those are the two best doing it in this league, and I imagine there's going to be a lot of that going on in this game. I just think this is going to be a really, really close one. And I just think the only games the Commanders are capable of winning are shootouts. So I'll take the Washington Commanders.
Wow. Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now's the time you've been waiting for. Randy White to give his epic pick on the Washington Commandos versus his Arizona Cardinals.
It's times like this when a team finds out who they really are. It's times like this that show you just what you can do. For the first time in history, the Arizona Cardinals have 4 games at home to start the season.
Lost 2.
Yes, I know. I'm good friends with my good friend Keon Rose, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. But friendships must be put on hold when our teams collide at the Silver Nest. Oh, yes, you have a former Sun Devil quarterback that looked pretty good last week. But that was last week. Oh, yes, Scary Terry can beat you single-handedly, but not unless he gets the football, which he won't. I look for the Cardinals to stand tall in the saddle against this Washington offense. Blitz upon blitz upon blitz all day long. Unless we forget, the Cardinals know how to jam it down your throat with their running game as well. Don't get excited, Moist One. That wasn't for you. You can look for the Cardinals to win this game 56-12 in what will forever be known as the great conquering of the Commandos at the Silver Nest.
12 is me guess. You're projecting 4 field goals.
2 touchdowns.
Oh,
but their field goal kicker is going to miss both of the extra points.
The guy who okay, yeah, well, that's probably not. That's not
Gonna
likely.
miss both.
Pretty
The
good
guy
kicker,
that went 7 for 7 in
Right.
games.
Well, see,
and
but that was
won it.
that was earlier this year. That's not this coming week.
Good point. That's a good
You know
point.
what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, there you have it.
They're
I
just
love
going
it.
to be stunned and shuddered. When they leave, they'll be vibrating off the field. That's the way it's going to happen. Yeah.
Moist One says 8. I'm aroused. 888
Not for you.
1580.
He said it in the middle of the rant. Not for you, Moist.
Not for you, Moist One.
I don't think it matters to
Yeah,
him.
no, that's
Just
true.
put it away.
That's true.
Fish Tank says, Ralph, Jaden is not their quarterback in this game. You are high.
Oh, really? Look at this. Look at the season so far. Look at Kyler Murray, how he's doing. Except for one game, he's looked bad, real bad.
The Jet says, Ralph, our tied in is out in, I think he means his tight end is in concussion protocol. If Kyler throws to him, it'll be on the sideline.
Well, it'd be the first time he threw to him all year. I think he has 3 catches this year.
No, that's not.
They have other tight ends.
Because that second game, McBride got active in that late third, early fourth quarter.
But he have 3 catches?
I don't know, but he had a couple more the game following before.
They're not using him the way they need to use him, in my opinion. Kyler, again, makes bad decisions.
Big George says this game's going to be a bloodbath. Jane Daniels is going to tear up State Farm Stadium and dominate the Cardinals. In what will forever be known as the Commanders' commanding conquest of the Cardinals. Why are you taking the other team, George?
That's
Thanks,
weird.
Big George.
And also, like, have you seen the Commanders' defense? It's Benjamin St. Juste might actually have to guard Marvin Harrison Jr., and he's going to be Swiss cheese by Monday. He has no business guarding Marvin Harrison Jr., except he's the best corner on the team.
There will be epic fantasy football numbers on both sides. This is going to be
no, you got a Cardinal, you might have a good week. You got a Commander, you might also have a very good week.
All right, we got a couple moments here, so let's take a look at some of the other matchups. I'm trying to look and see what the other good matchups are. I mean, New Orleans and Atlanta, Minnesota, Green Bay. No, not really.
That's an interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not good.
I mean, do you believe in Minnesota yet?
No. Philadelphia
I do.
And
That
Tampa
defense is
Bay.
real.
So do I. Yeah.
Philadelphia and Tampa Bay should have been a pretty good matchup, but Tampa Bay's been sort of humbled lately, and so is Philadelphia.
But that's Todd Bowles playing Sean Payton, and Sean Payton gets the better of Todd Bowles all the time. Like, I'm not going to read too much into them losing to the Broncos.
By the way, I think we might have lost Chief Skull as a listener because I keep bashing on the Vikings just to hurt Donnie.
Yeah, well,
but to be honest, I'm picking the Vikings this week.
Yeah, I think we all should be. He should come
Yeah.
back. We have nice things to say about the Vikings now. Chief
Yeah,
Skull.
it's hard. It's hard for me. So we got one game left we can even try to talk about. Should we talk about Philadelphia and Tampa Bay or Saints and Falcons? Those
I
are
like that.
the only.
I like that Saints Falcons matchup.
It's a better game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm
I got the
waffling on that
Falcons
one.
there. Taking the Falcons there, I know Derek Carr will probably do better this time around, but I think that Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, that this will be their get right. It'll be a fun game, but I'm going to take them with the win. What do you guys agree? Disagree?
Yeah,
I'm taking New Orleans.
I guess you disagree.
I'm taking Atlanta. I agree. I think the matchup really comes down a lot to Chris Olave versus AJ Terrell, and I just think Terrell's playing lights out football right now. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
What do you say, Ralph?
I like the Falcons. I like the way Cousins actually looks. I mean, so I think he.
But
Really
we
is
know
for that
you
team.
think he's good looking, but that's not
I just
even
think
really
he's
relevant
good
to
for
this.
that team, and I think their offense looks decent. I mean, I like how at the end of that last game they just turned it on when they wanted to and they won. I mean, so I don't know. I like the Falcons. I'm impressed with New Orleans though. Very impressed. I mean, but this is a great game. This is probably a last possession game.
Fish Tank says, God, doesn't it suck the Vikings are good for like no reason? I know.
So is Green
I
Bay
mean,
though.
I wouldn't
So for no reason.
say that it's no reason though. I mean, your former head coach, Fish Tank, Brian Flores, that is the most evil defense in the league. He is doing things that no one else is doing. He's blitzing on 41% of the plays that they run.
But Darnold has looked amazing.
He has.
You watch those games. He's throwing passes he hasn't thrown since he was at SC. I'm like, what happened to this guy all of a sudden?
No hefty lefty. Broncos versus Jets is not the marquee matchup on anyone's schedule this week. Rye Guy says, yay! Can't tell you how elated and excited I am to live through another Chargers season. An NFL redundancy and mediocrity.
I'm so sorry.
Randy's Chuckle says, if you want the winning picks this week, just look at mine. Do the opposite. I only got 2 right last week. Oh, damn. This season has got to get sobered up here soon. That's all I can say. I mean, this has been out of damn just ridiculous. So we don't have time to read any more of these texts, but I'll tell you what, get your texts ready for Scott the Fantasy Football King Engel. Get those questions in. He's up next right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments. And welcome to Flight 101. To annual girls trip moments.
Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Ralph from Harman Solar, Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Joining us now is Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. That's right, senior writer for rotoballer.com, official fantasy writer for Seahawks.com, fantasy writer for Sportsline.com, and inaugural member of the Fantasy Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. You know him as Mr. the King over here. And by the way, you can find him on the Twitters at Scott E. the King. So there you go. All right. So you're ready for week 4, Scott?
I was born ready. Bring it on.
All right.
Seahawks Lions.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Well, speaking of Seahawks, I got Tyler Lockett, sitting on my bench. But I know that Amon-Ra St. Brown has a kind of a tough matchup this week. So with Amon-Ra St. Brown and
don't start like this. You're never benching Amon-Ra
I just
St. Brown.
listen.
Tyler Lockett.
This
is how we're going to start the week. Come on, you don't bench your superstars.
I'm all right. I'm just saying that if this was a week to do it, that maybe against that Seattle defense,
that's not the week. No, it's not the week. The defense doesn't always win a matchup.
All right. So the only other thing I've got is Kyle Pitts or Mike Gesicki, because Gesicki's got a nice matchup against the Panthers.
I think with all due respect, we have. You base your decisions too much just on the matchup. You got to talk about the quality of player. Mike Gesicki has been, a fantasy tease for 6.5 years.
But listen, You've seen Kyle Pitts not do so well, even though Kirk Cousins is trying to get the ball to him. I mean, yeah, one of those touchdowns was knocked away by pass interference, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really. You're looking at Kyle Pitts as a stud then.
Not really. I mean, he's been a fantasy tease too. You make a good point, but T. Higgins is back, so I really don't expect anything from Gesicki.
All right. Well, now the only other thing I've got is I got Tony Pollard and Devin Singletary, but I got Chuba Hubbard and Javonte Williams on the bench. Everything as it should be.
I go with Singletary, and I like Chuba Hubbard over Pollard. You know, Hubbard's
really okay.
a lot better with Dalton running that offense. Pollard's been hit or miss, mostly miss.
All right. Thank you for that advice and not crapping all over me, at least for that question. What do you guys, who wants to go next? Who wants to get crapped on next by the King?
Hi, Mr. The King. It's me, your favorite radio host, Randy. And
how are you, Randy? Good to see you. Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you as well, my friend, and it's good to hear from you. Ralph, I want to warn you, Ralph is on the he's on the line here. So
he knows he's here.
Okay. Anything you say can and will be held against you by Ralph. Anyway,
he's a Seahawks fan like me, so we don't hold anything.
Well,
we're good. We're solid.
However, did you know he's wearing a Mike Tomczak Chicago Bears jersey today?
That's not Mike Tomczak.
If he's such a big Seahawk fan, why is he wearing a Mike Tomczak jersey?
Caleb
Williams. I'll say two things about that. I don't even know if Mike Tomczak still has a Mike Tomczak jersey. And number two, Brad, that's not the best form. I own about 16 Seahawk jerseys and nobody from any other team.
Thank you.
Ralph has many jerseys from many people
Caleb
from
Williams.
many different teams.
My question, Mr.
Do you have a 49ers jersey?
No,
Ralph?
no, absolutely not. No 49ers, no Cardinals, no.
But you can't say no Rams.
Bandwagon man draws the line somewhere, huh?
You can't say no Rams.
How is he bandwagon?
I have a Jack Youngblood jersey from the Rams, and they give me credit about it.
Yeah,
because he wore it when the Rams were
I
playing in
remember
the Super Bowl on
2013.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, he was rooting for the Rams.
I grew
wearing
up
the
in
jersey.
L.A.
Let
Oh,
it
you got an
go,
excuse for all your
Ralph.
bandwagon.
Let it go.
Just don't even.
See, guys, what I
can't
did
root
here?
for
See what I
anybody
did?
else. They wear the
Chaos.
jerseys one thing. I remember in 2013, people would see me wearing the Seahawks jersey and say, "Call me bandwagon." I would say, "Kiss my John Kitno."
Well, you have to remember back then, most Seahawk fans were brand new at it. There was a whole lot of bandwagoners. So I guess that people, it was just false identification for you.
I own a Chris Warren jersey, so don't love me into that.
So do I.
Yeah.
All right. So who's
Nice.
up next?
I've rode white.
Well,
Randy, do you have an actual question?
I
for him?
do have a question. I
Outside
actually-
of stirring up controversy.
I'm sorry. It's my job on this show to stir up controversy. Hey, Mr. The King, what do you think of Nico Collins? I know he's questionable right now. Is he going to make the game? Is he going to be any good? Do you have any advice on who I should replace him with if he's not going to make the game?
I'm sorry, the signal dropped there for a minute. My apologies. What was the question again?
Nico Collins is questionable. Is he going to play? And if he's not going to play, who do you think I should replace him with? I do have Jalen Waddle on my bench. I'm kind of holding on to him.
You have anything else but Waddle because Tonga Viola is still out.
Yeah, I know that. That's why he's on my bench. Yeah, I could move. I
can't tell you.
Do we lose him?
I think the signal's probably going in and out.
Do we need to grab a phone line on that then?
But damn, right when he was going to answer my question too.
Yeah, he's going to tell you to put Waddle in. Trust me.
Did we completely lose the King?
I think
no. I'm right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we couldn't hear you. You dropped out there for a second.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Zoom or whatever, but it keeps bumping.
Yeah, we might have to go to a phone line if this keeps happening. But right now, go ahead and let's hear that answer again for Randy.
Yeah, Nico Collins, I can't tell you if he's going to play or not if the team doesn't know, but I will say getting a hamstring injury after the weeks of practices have started is not a good sign.
Okay, very well. I think I know what to do. Thank you, Mr. the King.
Yeah,
How
well,
about you?
I don't like Waddle either, so I might be searching free agency.
How about you, Keon?
Couple of questions. One, and I know that you were just talking about maybe not reading too much into the matchups there, but Jahmyr Gibbs versus Seattle does scare me a little bit. And on my bench, I have Mostert, who, without Tua, maybe in a red zone situation, Mostert can do something. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we lost him again.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. So, Keon, go ahead and pull down on that and see if we can get him on the actual phone. We'll get this pick back up again. 888-368-1580. So Ralph and I are playing each other this weekend. And let's see here. You got Mahomes.
I do.
I got Hurts. Hurts has underperformed for fantasy football all season. But Mahomes has been consistently at about 20. So
20 to
Hurts,
25.
No, you've topped out at 22. Hurts had 25, 27, but then he had one bad week with 17. So I feel like Hurts probably is going to do better than Mahomes this week.
Where I'm going to get you is running back because I have Barkley and I have Connor.
Yeah. No, that's right. No, I agree with you on that. I got Singletary and Chuba Hubba. So you've got that. But Amon St. Brown and Olave. Now Olave, that could go either way, but Amon St. Brown usually gets his versus Smith and Jigba and Moore. And I also have on my flex Rashee Rice. So, but then you got Kamara. So, Jesus.
Yeah.
that could go very bad for me.
Yeah. My thing is tight end. I have Ertz right now.
I'm back.
Hey, there he is. Yeah, Ralph and I
don't know what's going on here. I mean, I think the Carolina Panthers were handling your Zoom or something. I don't know.
Wow. The Bryce Young Panthers.
Yeah.
So let's get back with the Andy Dalton Panthers, and Keon's got some questions for you.
Yeah. Gibbs or Mostert?
I don't know if Mostert's going to play, but Keon, I don't know if you were struck with the same sort of ailment that Jeff was, but you never benched Jahmyr Gibbs for Raheem Mostert.
I know. It's just that Seahawks defense is pretty scary to me.
This is not the Legion of Boom. I mean, they're good, but it's even the Legion of we're talking running backs here. Not receivers.
That's a really good point. And my second question is Zay Flowers or T. Higgins?
That's a tough one. Higgins, one game back in, should be pretty good, but Zay Flowers is a pure number one. Buffalo's secondary is good, though. That's a tough one, but I'm still going to lean Zay Flowers.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got to see something from Higgins first.
All right, Ralph, you got any questions for the King?
I'm playing Jeffrey this week, so let's bear that in mind. On defense, I have the Seahawks or the Bears, and I was thinking about picking up the Colts only because of I don't know why. But what do you think? But Bears, Seahawks?
You're not going to use the Seahawks against the Lions. Again, this is not the LOB, so it's not like they're going to shut down that offense. The Bears are playing the Rams, and the Rams have so many injuries. They're so depleted. You got to go with the Bears.
And then at tight end, I have Kittle, but I don't know if he's going to play or not. And my other guy is Ertz. So I don't know. Would you just stick with Ertz because you think Kittle may be hurt and who knows what's going to happen in that game? Or if Kittle plays, you got to start him.
If my philosophy is always, Brad, if the team deems him ready to play, I deem him ready to play. Unless they say he's on a pitch count.
Okay.
Why does he keep calling you Brad?
That's my other name.
Hey, King. Why do you keep calling him Brad?
What?
You keep saying Brad. Who's Brad?
Wait a minute.
Do you know which show you're on?
What?
Do you know which show you're on right now? That's Ralph.
I'm
Jeffrey.
Thursday or Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we got a lot of questions here on the text line. Let's get right to it. Big George says, Mr. the King, I'm in tight end purgatory. Isaiah Likely got me 0.6 points last week. Mark Andrews got a big fat 0, and Sam Laporta appears to be injured. Should I pick up Colby Parkinson or Zach Ertz?
Colby Parkinson got a big fat 0, which is what I sound like right now, calling people by the wrong name. Isaiah Likely has some upside this week. Zach Ertz, it's like, how bad is tight end when all of a sudden 33-year-old Zach Ertz is, people are talking about starting him? I mean,
Desperation.
That guy's had a really good career, but he's like 5 years past his prime. I'll take the upside with Likely. He's still running a lot of routes while Andrews is staying in the block. But I will tell people this, and I said this on the Seahawks Fantasy Insider podcast on Seahawks.com today. If your league allows you to start Taysom Hill at a tight end, he's on free agency, start him if you're having tight end problems.
Okay. So are they using him in such a way week to week that he, I mean, how many points is he just generally grabbing? Because a lot of times you don't know what he's going to do.
Well, you can say that about every tight end, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right about
this year. Yeah.
You're going to use Taysom Hill and goal line packages, etc. You know, as a runner, as a pass catcher, as throwing passes. There's no statistical floor for him, but there's no statistical floor for any tight end right now, it doesn't seem. Look how bad Travis Kelce's been.
Yeah, what do you think? That's gotta flip around here pretty soon, right? Or you think that they're just sort of?
I've been saying that for 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, I believe what they're saying, that he's dragging a couple of guys with him and getting other guys open, and eventually he'll start to get his. I mean, this can't go on forever unless there is something wrong with him. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, I've got 2 leagues, so I got 2 similar questions. His first one is Sam Laporta or Dalton Schultz?
We don't know if Laporta is going to play. So if he starts, you play him. Dalton Schultz, you can go with him because Tank Dell is out. Nico Collins is hurt. He might have to play a bigger role in the Houston offense.
And then his other question, very similar, Mark Andrews or Dalton Schultz?
I would say if Nico Collins doesn't play, go with Dalton Schultz.
There you go, Fish Tank. Swazman says, hey, Mr. the King, same question, different week. Likely or Laporta at tight end?
Laporta plays, you start him. If he doesn't, you use Likely.
Also, Singletary tonight or Waddle wide receiver flex on Monday?
It's just so hard to play the Miami wide receivers with Tua out. Singletary's got a good matchup. The Cowboys are not good against the run.
Hefty Lefty says pick 2, Addison, JSN, Kirk, or Jay Reed.
If Jordan Love plays, I would play Reed. If not, I'd go with Addison, but, I like Jackson Smith and Jigba this week. Could be a high scoring game, Seahawks Lions. And, the last 2 times Geno Smith has faced the Lions in the last 2 years, 320 plus passing yards, 3 touchdowns in each game. If Smith is going to play well, then I'm expecting good numbers from JSN.
There you go, Hefty. Teacher Lady says, I have a question for Scott Engel, the fantasy football king. Brock Purdy or Jared Goff as quarterback?
I know it seems that Goff has the better matchup, but he always plays well at home. I do like Purdy, but I'm going to go with Goff.
She said she was leaning towards Purdy with that matchup, but I guess Goff going up against the stout Seattle D, if you say so. Donnie says, do I give up on Michael Pittman Jr.?
As for the stout Seattle D, well, like you said, defense doesn't always win the matchup, but I don't think you can cut Michael Pittman. I think it's too early to do that. If you don't have somebody targeted, you're going to tell me, okay, I'm cutting Michael Pittman for Darius Slayton. I'm going to play him tonight. I'm going to say no. Everybody's league is different, though. So, but I don't think Michael Pittman is droppable yet.
Also says Jaden Reed or Quentin Johnston as the flex.
If Love plays, you play Reed. If he doesn't, you play Johnston.
All right. One more question before the break. Stockton Slap says, I need to start 2. Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, or Devontae Adams?
You definitely start Ayuk. I think he'll bounce back this week. I like the matchup for DJ Moore. Devontae Adams gotten to the point where his career where you don't know what the statistical floor is every week.
All right. It's these, okay. My mouth ain't working. Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel with us. Working. My brain's not working?
No, mine isn't, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's you're like, God, you've been hacking me the whole damn show. Jesus Christ. All right. We'll be back with more of your fantasy football questions. 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
You may know me as Ben Gallego, but I've had a lot of titles over the years. First, son, or mijo, by my single immigrant mom who worked so hard to make ends meet, and brother by my 3 incredible sisters. I've been called janitor, line cook, construction worker, doing any job I could to help out since we didn't have much. I earned the title graduate from Harvard University. I was called infantryman in the Marines when my company took some of the heaviest losses in Iraq. I'm called congressman, proudly representing Arizona the past 10 years. But my favorite title of all is dad to my 2 beautiful kids whose future I'm fighting for every day. That's why today, my title is candidate for Senate. I'm fighting to lower costs and secure our border. I'm Ruben Gallego, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message because for me, it's never been about titles. It's about standing up for hardworking Arizonans like you.
Paid for by Gallego for Arizona. Hear that? The relaxing sound of ambient music in a yoga class. And if you were here, you'd listen to 15 people taking a deep breath in sync. But you're not here. Your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get a quote today and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, and find inner peace with a different pose called Palms on Handlebars. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates not available in all states.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert. 4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We got Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel, answering the questions on the text line, getting you ready for your fantasy football matchups for week 4. So let's get right back to it. Bullseye says Cole Kmet, Isaiah Likely, or Mark Andrews. Seems like most of the questions today are about the tight end position.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to go with Kmet. Again, that Rams defense is it's thinner than Taylor Swift right now.
Swave Dave says Flowers, Njigba, and Shakir. Which one of those do I sit?
I would probably go with Shakir. There's not much of a statistical ceiling, so it's hard to bench the other 2.
Also, for some reason, I want you to know that Jordan Mason is his flex. The Moist One says, hi. Yeah. Hi, Mr. the King. Go Hawks. Should I start McLaren or Odunze?
I got to go with McLaurin. That Arizona defense is pretty bad. It's going to be the high-scoring game. That game's got the highest Vegas total of the week at 15.5 over/under, and I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I bet. And he also says, or maybe I should start both and bench Josh Jacobs.
I would not do that because Jacobs going to get the most guaranteed carries, and his outlook improves. Love plays.
Chosen One says flex PPR, Jerome Ford or Andre Iosivas.
Yashovius. Yeah, he with Higgins back, Yashovius really not going to have much fantasy appeal.
So you go with Brad Isovius. Okay. Another question.
I go with Jerome Ford. I go with Brad Ford.
That's right. Brad Ford, Chosen One.
Yeah.
In Flex PPR, he says Juwan Jennings, DJ Moore, or Zay Flowers.
I can't bench Juwan Jennings after what he did last week, and they got another good matchup this week. He's not going to score 40-plus fantasy points again, but I have to go with Jennings as long as Devo is out. If Kittle doesn't play, I like him even more.
Hefty Lefty says Addison or Jameson Williams.
It's going to be Addison's first game back, so I'll go with Williams for potential upside.
All right. Eye Candy says, Mr. King, if Collins can't go, which of these three would you play? Odunze, Reed, or Ridley?
I'd lean towards Odunze if Keenan Allen is out. If Keenan Allen plays, I will go with Ridley. Eye Candy's one of our regulars.
Yes, he is. Ziggy says Addison or Christian Kirk.
Addison's first game back again. I'll lean with Kirk. Jacksonville badly needs a win.
Matt Man says, should I trade Juwan Jennings for Keon Coleman or Alan Lazard?
Matt Man. I see what he's done there. I'm not trading Jennings for either one of those guys. I'll take the 2-3 good weeks I'm going to get out of him.
Let's see. Oaktown Destroyer says Joe Mixon or Miles Sanders.
Joe Mixon not going to play.
I guess it's Miles Sanders then.
Let's
see. Big George has another question for you. He says, which one would you start as wide receiver? Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, that Andre Isovius, or I can't even say his name, or Brandon Cooks. Isovius.
Who was the first one again?
Mike Evans.
Yeah, I'm going to keep the faith in Mike Evans. They will, I hate to use a cliche, but squeaky wheel, they want to get him the ball.
So speaking of trades, Moist One's trying to trade me Brock Purdy for Jalen Hurts. Can you tell him to leave me alone?
Is this the guy that's been offering you the terrible trade?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, look, you send me these trades. People are sending so many bad trades right now. And unfortunately, your friend here is one of them. Okay? Just because you send 50 bad trade offers doesn't mean he's going to take the 51st. When you make a trade, you have to think, realistically, is the other person going to accept that? Would you accept it if you were on his side? Stop offering, lowballing people. It just gets me so riled up that I can't even talk straight. Just when I hear offers like this, nobody's going to take it. Stop doing it.
Yeah, it was probably my fault. It was probably my fault though that started it, because I was just like looking at how Brock Purdy sometimes has a pretty nice game going, and Hurts has been sort of underperforming, and he took that as just like an invitation. I was like,
you send me some of the offers and they're like other offers, they're just so ridiculous. It's like this guy deserves to have you offer his kicker for his best player.
Yeah. By the way. What did he say when we were talking about it? Oh, here's what it was. I said yesterday, I said, I'm going to run these trades by Scott, the fantasy football king Engel. And he texts me, you don't need Mr. the King. You're a savvy fantasy football player.
That's just a con artist.
Wow. This guy's a complete BS artist. Like in a museum. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful BS.
Oh my God!
It's Ocean's 11 right there.
I know it's not good for me, but it's true. Stockton Slap says, "Is it time to trade Devontae Adams? And if so, what should I aim to get in return?"
Adams, you're not going to get what you should get in return right now because his value is flowing. Now, that's the thing with people with trades. If a guy's not performing well, they want to get rid of him. Well, somebody else doesn't really want to take on your problem. So it's going to be hard to trade Davante Adams. When people ask, what can I get for him? Well, you just can't say, okay, I'm going to go after, Josh Jacobs for him. But what if the Josh Jacobs guy who has him on his team doesn't need a wide receiver? You have to, when you're structuring a trade, just for everybody out there, look at the roster grids in your league and find the right partner that they have a strength. They have a weakness where you have a strength, and then you know who to deal with. But Davante Adams doesn't have a whole lot of trade appeal right now.
I just want to remind everybody at this moment that I am 2-1. I am 2-1 in the Premier League, and I've only lost to one person. Anyway, let's see here. Fish Tank says, would you trade Aaron Rodgers for Sam Darnold?
I think that's a wash. That's another thing with trades. When you make a trade, you want to do one of two things. You want to either make a significant upgrade or you want to fill a need. And I don't think you do either one there.
Amaya D says, need to start 2 in PPR. Najee Harris, Connor, Spears, or Singletary?
I go Connor, Singletary. Connor's got a great matchup against that terrible Washington defense, and I like Singletary against the Dallas run defense.
There you go. And Mr. Big George wraps it all up for us with just thanks, Mr. the King.
Thank you, Brad.
That is Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. Find him on the intranets at Scott E. the King. He's on the Twitters. Are you on any other social medias?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
All right, you can find him on Facebook there too. Scott E. the King. And of course, check out his stuff on rotoballer.com, Seahawks.com, sportsline.com. You can find him out and about answering questions and helping everybody out. Well, thanks a lot, buddy. We will see you next week. Right now, it's time for us to step aside for what could be a horrible game. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Gil Alexander hosts